1966 trivia for you. So we have 6 different categories of things that happened the year that you got married, Mom and Dad, 1966. And then maybe a few other little things after that. So, the first category...
I'm not going to tell any.
Oh, come on, maybe just one little story.
I'm not telling any stories.
Well, we'll decide on that later. The cost of living for these items in 1966, a new house, $14,200. New house. Average yearly income, $6,900. Gallon of gas, 32 cents. A new car, $2,650. A stamp, 5 cents. A dozen eggs, 60 cents. A gallon of milk, 99 cents. A new dishwasher, $119.95, unless you're my mother. She still has a free dishwasher after 50 years. And now on to the next, 1966. Here you go, Rick.
All right. You guys having a good time, by the way? Everybody? Yeah. By the way, a stamp only went up 20 cents, so I'm not that impressed. Yeah. If this were 1966, this party would cost the same as a house. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, a lot of people ask me tonight, "Are you going to play a song? Play a song, you know?" And I told them I'm on leave. I played last night, and I would love to play a song, but I'm not going to do that. A lot of people, they associate me with being a musician, but they don't realize that I'm a movie guy, really, like my dad. I get that from my dad. And I'm here to tell you about the movies from 1966. A lot of you people may remember going out to the movies and seeing some of these. Of course, some people weren't born yet. Some people were 45, you know, at the time. Let's see. Alfie. Remember Alfie? That was a popular film from 1966. Michael Caine. The Bedford Incident comes to mind. That's one of my favorites. Richard Widmark. Sidney Poitier. You're right. Speaking of Sidney Poitier, Lilies of the Field. Right? And I believe Sidney Poitier won the Academy Award that year for that. Let's see, we have Dr. Strangelove, the great Stanley Kubrick classic. It does. It comes out. All these remakes, Dr. Strangelove is being remade. Oh, it's a different thing. Okay. Well, speaking of remakes, The Magnificent Seven, which is in theaters right now. Yul Brynner, that's right. Well, it was remade, it's in theaters right now, but the original Magnificent Seven did come out in 1966. Here's a classic, Clint Eastwood. I know my Aunt Diane is a big Clint Eastwood fan. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966, right? That was we have Man for All Seasons. Paul Schofield, I believe that won Best Film of 1966, Man for All Seasons. The Pawnbroker, Rod Steiger, that was a good one. Thunderball, for all the James Bond fans out there. Oh my gosh, my nephew Jacob knows Thunderball. You know Thunderball? Good. Good for you. He's ahead of his time, ladies and gentlemen. Thunderball. One of my favorites. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? 1966. You heard of that? Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. I'm sure you're a big fan. That concludes the movie portion of the evening. We're going to move on down the line now. Thank you guys. Continue to have a great time. Are you next?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my nephew Jacob. Everybody.
If he wasn't a musician. Give me a good one. Okay, so I'm doing 1966 sports figures. Roberto Clemente, Sandy Koufax, Wilt Chamberlain, Willie Mays, Peggy Fleming, Muhammad Ali, Ted Williams. He's the one Red Sox I actually respect. And Jack Nicklaus. Yeah, okay, here you go.
I have 1906 popular songs. You Can't Hurry Love, Strangers in the Night, Cherish, Monday, Monday, California Dreamin', When a Man Loves a Woman, Good Vibrations, Barbara Ann, We Can Work It Out, Yellow Submarine, Last Train to Clarksville, and Reach Out, I'll Be There.
I've got the popular cars of 1966, the Chevy Camaro, the Dodge Charger, the Tornado, the Ford Mustang, the Ford Falcon, the Toyota Corolla, and the Pontiac Bonneville.
And I have 1966 popular TV shows. Any guess? Any guess? No.
Batman.
Bonanza, The Andy Griffith Show, I Love Lucy, Bewitched, Green Acres, Hogan's Heroes, Dragnet, My Three Sons, Batman, Roadrunner, and Petticoat Junction.
And now we have poems for Grandma and Grandpa. This is called Your Marriage is Golden. A partnership like yours is rare. 50 years you've been together. You've always been a loving team in sunny and stormy weather. Nothing can tarnish your lasting love. At 50 years you're gold. Your affection shines as you go through the years. With each other to love and hold.
Good job, Taylor. Okay, so this poem is called Strong Union. It's your golden wedding anniversary, and it makes me so happy to say, through the years, I've gotten to know you well, and I'm proud to applaud you today. Now your union is golden. It's 50 years, an accomplishment hard to achieve. I hope you will flourish as many years go by, and whatever you want, you receive.
Nice job, Jacob and Kaylee. And now we would like Cousin James to come up.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. I am Richie's first cousin, just in case you want to figure out who I am. And Jacob, I am the cousin that your mother and your two uncles used to jump on when they were younger. I just want to mention just a couple of things about Rich and Eileen. And for all of you who were at the marriage ceremony 50 years ago today, may recognize me. I was one of the altar service. And as I reminded Rich and Eileen yesterday, I still haven't got my tip. So we can settle up after the party. But just a few comments about them. And some things that I love about Rich and Eileen is that not only do they like to have fun and make sure they're having a good time when they're with family, they make sure that the family's having just as much fun as they are. And I have just a few instances. Many years ago, my brother Ryan came in from California. And living in California, he'd come back maybe every 2 or 3 years. And one year he came back, he's talking to my wife and I, and he says, I really would love to see Richie. Probably been 15 years since he's seen Richie. So my wife calls up Rich and Eileen, gives them a message, call back the next day, we will be there. They came down. Now my brother had a form of MS, and he really couldn't walk around. He had to use crutches and a cane. Excuse me. He's sitting in my backyard. When Richie came in, he jumped out of that chair and ran to hug Richie. It was an amazing moment that we had. Second one was just this past summer. And I had a little cousins get together at my house. And again, invite Rich and Eileen down. Again, it's a surprise. And it just so happened that everybody showed up at the same time. And all the screams of, Richie, what are you doing here? Richie, what are you doing here? Great time. But the fondest memories I have, and Eileen, I'm going to talk about Rich right now, was back when we were kids. And during the summer, the Marino clan would invade Martino's Sunset Manor. It's a boarding house in the area. And we would all be there, all the Marino cousins would be there. And the Zinnantis would drive up. And Richie would show up in a two-piece bathing suit. Now, I don't know whose bathing suit this was. It could have been his for all I know, I'm not sure. But Richie would saunter around the swimming pool and do his best impression of a model. And then Richie would use the diving board as his runway. And he'd go back and forth on the diving board 2 or 3 times, and of course he'd eventually fall in the water. Everybody had a big laugh. But the better times is when everyone went to Summit Avenue, 104 Summit Avenue. The entire family was there. And some of the uncles would go to, I believe it was Mike's Point, to get the pizza. They'd bring the pizza back. And the pizza slices were so narrow, they were like this big. They must have gotten maybe 25, well, I can't have 25 slices, 24 slices out of a pie. So everybody ate the pie, 2 or 3 bits, you were gone. And then everybody kind of went their own way. You had the back porch, you had the living room, you had the dining room, you had the kitchen, you had the patio. Some of the cousins would go down the slide to Main Street and hang out at the Mayflower. All right, but that Richie made it a point to get the youngest cousins and take us out to the front porch and entertain us. Now Rose was there. I'm not sure if Mike Verone and Angela were there, but he made it a point to make sure we had as just a good time as everyone else did. And Rich would be our television. And what we would do is we would tug one ear to change the channel and tug the other ear for the volume. And he would come up with these really outrageous television programs. And then he did the news. My favorite part was the news. He would come up with these stories, news stories. And one that I vividly remember is the Catskill Game Farm was breeding a giraffe and a buffalo. They were going to call it a giraffalo. And that was going to be the new animal that they had at the Bronx Zoo, not the Catskill Game Farm. And then he came to my favorite part. Richie would do the weather. And he'd say, okay, let's see what the weather's like. And he would pretend to open up a window, and he'd look outside. Now let's see what the weather's like. Oh, a bird pooped in my eye. I lost it. I would be on the porch, hysterical. I could not stop laughing. I was laughing so hard. And the thing was, that's not the only time he did it. Every time he'd do that same bit, I got as much enjoyment as I did the first time. So Rich, thank you so much for being the cousin you are. Now, a lot of people probably don't know is that your father was my sponsor for confirmation. And we were discussing it last night about all the things he did around the house. He moved the garage, he did the patio, he was involved with the scouting, he was the correction officer. And to a young kid in Brooklyn, I really looked up to your father for all these things. But my confirmation name is Richard because of you. You mean, the things you did for us when we were children, I will never forget. So thank you very much for being a loving, caring cousin. Bless you, both of you. Happy 50th anniversary. Blessings and best wishes for many, many more. Thank you. I'm not done yet. Okay, so tonight I would like to contribute to the Eileen and Rich Retirement Fund. I have 50 $1 scratch-offs here. I'm going to distribute them to the room. Please just get some help. Everybody take a card or so. Any winners that you have will go to Rich and Eileen. If you get a winner, please detach it from all the other cards. I will collect them. Rich and Eileen, you have to do one thing. You're not going to get out of this without doing any work. You have to cash in the winners. So thank you, everybody. Give everybody a good time. Thank you.